Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wow. You know, I think Seattle is ready for a political revolution. Oh. And you know, there are many thousands of people watching this outside who couldn't get in. Let me begin by thanking Jim Page, Speck, Eduardo Mendoza, the Eric Verlinde Group, and I want to thank Charlie Atkins for just introducing me. I want to start off in a way that I usually don't. I just want to, we were flying here from Vancouver, and where we had a whole lot of people out there as well. And I was reading on the internet, listen to this is interesting. And this is what change is about. The state of Utah is one of the most conservative states in this country. They have not voted for a Democrat for president in 50 years. A poll just came out. Bernie Sanders is beating Donald Trump in Utah. The poll has us ahead in Utah by 11 points. If we're ahead in Utah by 11 points, not going to be many states in this country that we can't win. And the reason for that is that the American people are never, ever going to elect a president who insults Mexicans, who insults Muslims, who insults women, who insults African Americans. Let's not forget that a few years ago, Trump was one of the leaders of the so-called birther movement, which was an attempt to delegitimize the presidency of Barack Obama. American people are not going to elect someone to be president who insults our veterans, and most importantly, what the American people understand is that we are strong when we come together. That when black and white and Latino and Asian American and Native American stand together, when gay and straight and men and women stand together, that will always trump divisiveness and tearing us apart. And the American people understand that togetherness, helping each other, supporting each other, will always trump selfishness. And perhaps most importantly, the American people know what every religion on earth, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, has taught us, and that is that love always trumps hatred. And if we stand together and we don't allow the Trumps of the world to divide us up, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Now, this campaign has won in 9 states. This campaign has the enthusiasm and the energy to carry us to victory because we are doing something very unusual in American politics. We are telling the truth. All of you know, whether it is in personal life or in political life, the truth is not always easy and it is not always pleasant. But if we are to go forward as a nation, we cannot sweep the major crises that we face underneath the table. We've got to address them. And that's what this campaign is doing. And when we talk about the major crises, number one, every person in this beautiful arena believes passionately in democracy. One person, one vote. But as a result of this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, we now have a campaign finance system which is corrupt, which is undermining American democracy. And here is promise number one. Together, we are going to overturn Citizens United. And we are going to move toward public funding of elections. When the Koch brothers and a few of their billionaire friends are able to spend $900 million in a campaign season to elect candidates who represent the wealthy and the powerful, that is not democracy, that is oligarchy. We do not accept that. But it is not just the corrupt campaign finance system which is undermining our democracy. We have Republican governors all over this country who are working overtime to suppress the vote. They're trying to make it harder for African Americans, for poor people, for old people, for students to participate in the political process. And I say to those governors, If you don't have the guts to run in a free and fair election, get another job, get out of politics. Democracy is one person, one vote. And a Sanders Department of Justice will challenge every one of these cowardly Republican governors. I want this country to have one of the highest voter turnouts in the world, not one of the lowest. We're going to make it easier for people to vote, not harder. But it's not only a corrupt campaign finance system, it is also a rigged economy that we are going to address. Let me tell you what a rigged economy is. A rigged economy is when the top 0.1% now owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. A rigged economy is when the 20 wealthiest people own more wealth than the bottom 150 million Americans, half of our country. A rigged economy is when one family, the Walton family of Walmart, owns more wealth than the bottom 40% of our people. And what the rigged economy is about is this one family, the wealthiest family in America, paying wages that are so low that many of their employees are forced to go on Medicaid, food stamps, and subsidized housing. And a rigged economy is when the working people of this country have to pay taxes to subsidize the operations of the wealthiest family in America. So I say to the Walton family, get off of welfare, pay your workers a living wage. The middle class should not have to subsidize the richest family in America. But it's not just wealth and the grotesque distribution of wealth. It is what is happening every single day. In America today, you have millions of people working longer hours for lower wages. Do you know why people are angry? Because the male worker in the middle of the economy today, in real inflation dollars, is making $700 less than he would have made 43 years ago. And the woman worker is making $1,000 less than she made in 7 years ago. What we are seeing in America today is mothers out working incredibly long hours, fathers out working, kids are out working, marriages are being stressed out, parents don't have the time to spend with their kids. And meanwhile, 58% of all new income is going to the top 1%. That is a rigged economy. We are going to change that. We are going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. We are going to change an economy in which we have today, shamefully, the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth, at the same time as we are seeing a proliferation of billionaires. That is not what this country is supposed to be about. And not only are we going to deal with a corrupt campaign finance system and with